recording of the so till yesterday we have completed with all the other main arteries functions, and the four chambers of the heart, very important, are two are auricles or atria also we call it, and two ventricles, left and right, and they were closed by various septums, and there was a biggest artery called aorta. Aorta is an artery which supplies oxygenated blood to all parts of our body. Okay. So now let us see the larger arteries, aorta. This is the artery, and it originates from the left ventricles and supplies blood to the various organs in our body. As I told you, left ventricle carries which blood? Whether it is oxygenated blood or deoxygenated blood in the left auricle. Who can answer it in the chat box, or I'm unmuting all the participants, but please don't disturb me. And so you have to have, I'm unmuting. Unmute yourself. I'm sending the messages to unmute. Please unmute yourself. And as soon as you answer, mute back. Unmute, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
everybody, now you all can unmute and mute yourself, right? So I have asked you, why does large artery aorta is originating from left ventricle? So left ventricle supplies blood to various organs in our body. So is this blood that is being carried by this aorta is oxygenated or deoxygenated blood? Which blood is this artery carrying?
I think oxygenated blood.
I think
deoxygenated.
it is deoxygenated. Deoxygenated is impure blood. Then how will you get oxygen to your body? You need oxygen gives energy. Okay. So where this blood, which has to be supplied to all organs of your body, is oxygenated blood. So oxygenated blood is the correct answer. So now we see that this is called as the pulmonary artery originates from. This is very important, which you have to remember about the pulmonary artery. You all know the rule that everybody switch on your cameras. The basic rule that arteries carries pure blood, oxygenated blood, and veins carry deoxygenated blood. But there is only one artery that is called as the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs for purification. So this is a very important question, which most of the time it's asked not only in your 10th class or exams, but also for the NEET exams everywhere. The only artery that carries deoxygenated blood. So this is pulmonary artery. So the pulmonary artery, pulmonary means which, what are we talking about? About which organ are we talking about when we say pulmonary?
Which organ, ma'am?
Yes, from which organ are we talking about when we say pulmonary? Pulmonologist,
Lungs.
you are talking, yes?
Lungs.
Lungs, yes. So this pulmonary artery, it deoxygenated blood is collected by the superior vena cava or post caval vein. We call it either superior vena cava, post caval vein, and inferior vena cava. So this carries deoxygenated blood. So this blood has to be again goes back to the lungs for purification. So this superior vena cava, it collects blood from posterior part, and the inferior vena cava collects blood from the anterior part, and both the caval veins opens into right auricle. Once it enters into the right auricle, then left atrium receives oxygenated blood from lungs. Lungs immediately purifies and gives the oxygenated blood. So let us see how the blood vessels helps in circulation. The structure and in 16th century, we came to know that there are some blood vessels. So the credit goes to Girolamo Fabrizi in 1574, an Italian doctor, who has said that there are some small valves in blood that moves in one direction, and the valves folded towards the walls of the vessels. So he found out that we have got some small valves inside our body. Like if you look at the water taps, we have got valves that closes. When you open a tap, water flows, and when you close it, so there are the valves that working inside. So similarly, he said that even our body has got these valves that helps in the blood circulation. So now, that the blood could pass without trouble. The blood moved in the opposite direction and the valves closed. Okay. So one way the valves are permitted the blood to move even a person standing upright, but not move downwards. What does it? Please note down this point, because what happens why do your legs swell when you sit, keeps it hanging and sitting for a long time? You must have seen people who are traveling, coming after a long journey, you will see that their legs are swelled. So what's the reason behind it? Note down this point and give me the answer in the chat box immediately.
So in this point only, it is written and explained that about the concept of one-way valves, and it is also mentioned that the valves permitted the blood to move even a person is standing, but not when when the person is not having any physical activity, when the person is not in motion for a long amount of time. So this concept doesn't come across when the person is sitting. So that's the reason blood is not being circulated in our body when we are sitting for a long time. So that's why we become swollen.
That's the reason the legs become swollen. Very good. So this is the reason why it happens. So the valves that are present, it will allow it only in one direction, and that is the upright. When you are standing also it can move, but when we are sitting, it is not possible. So the valves permits the blood to move even if the person is standing. But when the person moves his legs or just tightens his legs or muscles, then those muscles squeeze the veins and force the blood in those veins to move towards upwards against the pull of the gravity. So this blood, when it is moving against the pull of the gravity, so what happens is, even though the blood is leaving the left ventricle, always moved away from the heart. That is the reason it is very important that we keep moving. We should not sit or be stagnant in one position for a long time. So William Harvey in 1578 to 1657 Harvey is the first person who has discussed about how the circulation takes place. So he dissected the heart of a dead person. He was the first one who has dissected the heart of a dead person, and studied the valves between each atrium and its ventricle. Yesterday we were talking about the valves that are present, auriculoventricular septum, and there are the two valves that are also present that are present in ventricles, in between atrium and ventricles also, which allows the continuous passage is allowed in one direction by opening and closing of these valves. So this was first studied by Harvey, and then you can see that the blood flows from atrium to ventricle without any hindrance. From atrium, it enters into the ventricles. And when the heart contracts, the blood in the ventricles flows back to atrium. Instead, all blood was pushed into the arteries. So instead of pushing the entire into the arteries, some is being restored there. So, but Fabrizi has discovered in the leg veins, there were, what was happening in the leg veins, he checked that by trying that blocking different veins in the animals. He experimented on the veins, always bulged on the side of a block away from the heart. So whenever you see swelling that is swelled, the reason is the blood circulation is blocked in that place. So how is it happening? Because, you know, from the veins, where does the blood moves from the veins? From the veins, where does it goes back to? Which part of the body? Which organ of the body? Who can answer? Let me unmute them.
Lungs.
You can unmute yourself, right? Yeah, who wants to answer this question? Yeah, Ramsha has already given the answer. It's the heart. So from the veins, it is going to the heart.
Heart.
So what is happening is the blood is trying to flow towards the heart and to accumulate just below the block because it simply could not flow away from the heart. This was true of all veins. So in all veins, we have got valves and it happens in all. So the heart pushed blood into the arteries and the blood returned by the way of the veins. This is for both ventricles. The blood had a double circulation. One started from the right ventricle and then the left by the way of arteries to the lungs and returned by the way to the veins to the left atrium and from there into the left ventricle. So that is the reason we call it as a double circulatory system, because this blood is first supplied to all organs and with the veins it again goes back to the left atrium and from there to the left ventricle and again from the left ventricle it is circulated. So that is the reason we call it, it is taking place in 2 cycles. So we call it as double circulation. From left ventricle, the arteries to the rest of the body and returns of the veins to the right atrium and from into the right into the left. So this is how the circulation takes place. Please note down these points. So that's how it gets returned. So the blood was used up in the body and then the new blood was formed. As I was telling you, every time when you eat food, you are again you are contributing to the new blood. So the blood, the heart pumped in one contraction and also counted the number of contractions. The heart pumped out a quantity of blood that was 3 times the weight of a man. The same blood has to circulate and be over and over again. Now you see that William Harvey and Marcello Malfigi in 1650s has learned to put lenses together in such a way that objects too small objects which we cannot see with the naked eyes can be magnified and we can see. So Marcello Malfigi in 1694 with a microscope could see that the blood vessels that are invisible with our naked eyes can be seen under the microscope. And in 1661, after 4 years of Harvey's death, Malfigi, the wings of the bats, he has seen the veins and arteries in the wings of a bat. And then what he did is he could see that the smallest arteries in the veins connected are very fine bloods. And the blue one which you see are deoxygenated veins and the red ones are the arteries. So these capillaries, we call them capillaries. Capillaries is again a Latin word for hair. So the discovery of the capillaries, the idea of circulation of blood was complete and has been accepted ever since. So since that time, now let us do an experiment to see how does it, to demonstrate it. For that, we have to take this following material. You take a tourniquet, a piece, and then what is the procedure? Tie a tourniquet just above the elbow of a person with blood vessels are prominent in his hand and ask him to hold the fist with the rest of the cloth controlled in the hand. You can see it how. You must have seen that whenever somebody is taking, even in the diagnostic center for collecting the blood, they generally do it like this. They tie it above your elbow. And then, you know, they will ask you to close your fist. Why is it? So that, you know, the flow of blood. So what are we going to observe? What is happening after this? is now the blood vessels can be seen more prominently. So if it is done like this, we can clearly see that. And we see that undivided blood vessels where we have to work for the next few minutes. Now, at the end of the vessels, the elbow, apply steady pressure so that it closes the cavity. And now apply the pressure from the elbow towards the palm slowly and observe the change in the blood vessels. So complete it. So you are going to, you can easily see that small movement in each heartbeat, which you have checked in your pulse also, when you have done that experiment with your pulse. So now what do you see? This small, so what are we going to conclude? It demonstrates that blood circulation circulates in the blood vessels. And arteries and veins, there are two types of blood vessels. They are called arteries and veins. And arteries carries, this is again important, note it down. What is the function of arteries? So now you can see that how arteries carry blood from heart to different parts and veins carry it from there. And what are blood capillaries? So these are the microscopic vessels that are made of a single layer of the cells. These are called capillaries. And what do you mean by capillaries? It's a Greek word. In English, what do you call capillaries means?
Capillaries.
Yes?
Capillaries.
Yeah, what is capillaries in English? This is a Latin word, capillaries. हम लोग उसको English में क्या बोलते हैं capillaries को? Just now, nobody is concentrating, that means in the class properly.
Just now it was revealed.
Yes, sometime before. I told you capillary is a Latin word and it is, in English, we call it hair, I told you. Because there are hair-like structure, hair. Your hair, how your hair are there on the head. So, you know, leukocytes, we have got WBCs, white blood corpuscles. So what
White blood cells.
White blood cells or corpuscles also it is called as, and it is also called as leukocytes. So don't get confused if white blood corpuscles or WBC, white blood cells or leukocytes, whatever is given during an exam, it is one and the same. So what does it do? It can squeeze out the capillary wall and they establish continuity between the arteries and veins. So in between the arteries and veins, this continuous flow continues because of the squeezing of WBC, these white blood corpuscles, which are also called as the soldiers of our body, which helps in building the immunity in our body. So if you see these veins and arteries, and if you look at the brain, from the brain, this is going, deoxygenated blood is going towards the veins and the oxygenated blood in the arteries, and how it is going back to the heart. This is the entire cycle, see it properly. And how this continuity continues. Deoxygenated keep going towards the heart in the right auricle, and then, you know, the left ventricle carries this oxygenated. So this is a continuous cycle that continues throughout. And now you have got this functions of arteries and veins, which is very important. You have got this question also. So please note it down. Arteries are thick, whereas veins are thin. And valves are absent in arteries, whereas valves are present in veins. And the capacity to retain the shape of the blood vessels. Blood vessels have got a particular shape. So artery can retain because it is thick, but veins can also retain. They both have got its shape. And now if you look at how the blood flows, the direction of the flow of blood, it is in arteries, it is to the heart, and whereas you have to note down this table. So So, we have got only 1 minute left. So do understand the structure of arteries and veins and come back tomorrow. So let's start with the new lesson. So till then, take care. Take care of yourself. Today you have learned about WBC. How does WBC? Nowadays you are hearing so much about the immunity. So it is also called as the soldiers of the body because it fights and it does not allow the foreign body to enter in our body. Then how is corona entering into the body is your homework. Search it and find out the answer. So we'll begin with this answer tomorrow. Take care. Allah Hafiz.